Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this is July's episode of the Craft Cafe Live Show, featuring your host, your favorite host of all things craft, Latoya Riggins. Hi, everybody. We are live on Facebook. I just want to check, make sure everybody can get on in and tune in to this month's episode. Guys, we have such a great episode for you right now, making sure that we are on Facebook. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, it's coming around. It is coming up live now. Okay, here we go. Okay, it is. I was waiting. I was like, here we go, because you know how this technology is. Okay, well, let's get on in here, guys. There it is coming around now. Guys, I'm so excited about this. This has been our July month, and you know how busy July gets over at Craft. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I brought someone super, super hot coming on in here with education, you guys, because I want to really sit you down and let Mr. Stan Tucker tell you about what he is doing. This man is making waves all over the place. I am so excited because I just had a whole panel earlier this year, a whole panel about Black authors, you guys, for children's books. And when I met Mr. Stan Tucker, I was blown away. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I want to just kind of give you guys some time to get in here. And so I just want to let him go. But for those of you who this is your first time tuning into the Craft Cafe, let me give you a quick background on what we do. Over here at Craft by Better Futures, this is our online business and professional development platform specifically designed for you, the educator, you, the early childhood business leader. It's all about leadership, you guys. And we support businesses and entrepreneurs that actually support families and children. Okay. This is just our thing. We love it. So anytime we hear about an organization or an individual doing that work, we want to make sure that we're highlighting them here because Craft Cafe is where we elevate those voices of childcare through media, you guys. So, what better person to bring on than the one and only Stan Tucker? He's a visionary, he's an entrepreneur, he's a nonprofit leader, he's an author. He's a speaker. I mean, you name it. He's a producer. He is the star of the Very Airy Library, you guys. We got Stan Tucker in the building. All right. I'm gonna like here
Look,
across Dan.
oh, thank you so much for the introduction. I'm excited to be here with you on Craft and just humble for giving me your platform to share my message and the work that I'm doing. And hopefully someone hears something that they like and maybe they can incorporate some of the things that I'm doing in their own center or wherever they are. So thank you again for just the introduction and this platform today.
Oh, my pleasure. And you know what, Stan? I think I left some things out. So I just want you to take it from the top. Tell us about you, how you got into the industry with education and just where it started for you. And then, just blast away and give us this journey because I get excited every time I think about it. So,
Yeah, well, I'll get started if you don't mind. I'll share my screen. I'm a visual learner, so I like to see as I'm hearing, and so I'm gonna show you a quick slide deck, and it'll give you just in-depth vision of what I'm doing. So let me
all right.
play this slideshow. Can you all see that?
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
coming up
perfect.
now.
Here we go. All right. So, my name is Stan Tucker, and I'm the founder of the nonprofit Leap for Literacy, the Share Your Story writing program, and I am the host of the Very Airy Library, and I'm also an author as well. My whole life goal is to promote book ownership, book enjoyment, and book authorship. And I'm going to tell you the three ways that I'm doing those things. Okay. So I'm from this little small town out in Georgia, state of Georgia. When I was growing up, we had a red light and a subway. That's all we had. And if you blink going through it, you'll miss it. Very small town. And growing up, I lost my dad when I was 8 years old. He passed away tragically in a car accident. And it was really tough for me. And my mom, she worked at a health department for, man, close to 20 years or so. And she met a lot of young ladies having kids at a young age. And she was the type of person who's like, hey, y'all need a weekend off. We'll keep the baby. So I was always accustomed to having kids around. And I saw the importance of kids being around good role models. And so I became a teacher. So this was my second grade class out in Cobb County, Georgia. This was a Title I school, very high. Had about 40% Hispanic population, about 50% Black, and the other 10% other, but very transient, lower income area. And this classroom inspired this journey. So let me tell you this quick story that happened. It's my first year of teaching, and the book fair comes to town. And I tell all my kids, I say, those of you who have money for the book fair, line up at the door. And if you don't, just continue to do your morning work. So some kids had money, everybody else is doing their morning work. And this little dude right here, little Juan Diego, he comes up with tears in his eyes. He's like, Mr. Tucker, my mom said we don't have money for books, so I can't go. And it broke my heart. In his little 7-year-old mind, he thought he had to tell me why he couldn't go. Now, we all process things differently. The other 15 kids who couldn't go, they didn't come up and tell me because we process things differently. And I remember how much joy the book fair brought me. And I wanted
I
every
love the book
kid,
fair.
yeah, I wanted every
Yeah, that
kid
was
to,
my jam growing up.
right, right. So I wanted every kid to experience that joy that I had. And so that stuck with me. And then when I went back and looked at it from a different perspective, I looked at all my reading groups and my small group reading groups, and so I had 5 different reading levels. There's kids reading on a kindergarten level, first grade, second grade, third, fourth, fifth, on up, right? And Juan Diego was one of my lower readers, and I'm thinking to myself, is it because maybe he doesn't have access to books? And so I wanted to do something about it. So when I got out of the classroom, that's when my literacy journey started. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the nonprofit Leap for Literacy. Our mission is to promote literacy, kindness, and a love of reading and writing in children to encourage their success in life. Why is Leap for Literacy needed? I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with these statistics that are a direct connection to illiteracy. And literacy is the issue that plagues our society. Poverty is one of those. Of adults with the lowest literacy levels, 43% live in poverty, and
Yeah,
70% of adult welfare recipients have low literacy levels. Mass incarceration, nearly 85% of juveniles who face trial in the juvenile court system are functionally illiterate.
yeah,
Education, 1 in 6 kids who are not reading proficiently in third grade do not graduate from high school at a rate 4 times greater than proficient readers. Unemployment, low literacy costs us $225 billion a year in non-productivity in the workforce, and then healthcare. And so we know that literacy it causes so much stress on our society at a whole, and
nice.
we can do something about it. And I am trying to do my part in this. And so let me show you what I'm doing. So Leap for Literacy, we have a bookmobile. And so the whole concept of this bookmobile is called the Read and Roll, if you can see my shirt.
I love
Kids
that.
earn books through acts of kindness. My goal is to make the world a better place, one book at a time. Um, Latoya, we're friends, and I haven't known you long, but one thing I do know, Latoya, is that you're going through things
Yeah.
unspoken. I
Mhm.
am. Everybody else who's listening on this call, watching, tuned in right now, we're all going through things. Everybody. And
Mhm.
somebody on this call who's going to be watching this is at that point of maybe giving up, right? At that last straw. And you never know what an act of kindness can do for someone. And so my goal is to teach these kids at a young age to every day look for an opportunity to make someone's day better through an act of kindness. And so as you can see here, pre-COVID, we would put these kindness boxes in the classrooms, and the kid will have a ticket that says, I was kind when I held the door for someone, or whatever they did. And they put that in, and they had to do 20 acts of kindness. And when they did their 20 acts of kindness, they got to get a book off of our bookmobile. So this was the first
Okay.
day I took the bookmobile out back February, gosh, was it? February 19th, 2015 was or
Oh, wow. 10 years
2019, not,
ago.
sorry,
Oh, you 11.
2019. Well, I've been doing this for 10 years, but we got the bookmobile 6 years ago now. So,
Oh, that's
uh,
still a long time.
yeah, yeah. So these were pictures from the first day, a lot of excitement. One of the best days of my life, just seeing a dream that I have come to
It
fruition.
looks great. I love
Thank,
the colors. Real
yeah.
quick, Stan, you know what one thing that I love about what you're doing, when you talk about the literacy piece, I
Mhm.
worked in literacy for a long time, and what I didn't understand, I mean, what I didn't really notice was the focus a lot of time when they think of literacy, they think of children. But what I saw in like the workforce development industry when I was working in that industry, it start out as a problem as a child, but like you said, it becomes adults that can't read. So it's a stigma. So people don't talk about it. People don't want to express that they can't read. You know what I mean? So I thought about that whole embarrassment and the shame that goes with it. And then you bringing up kindness. And I love that not only putting your hands in the literacy box, but you're talking about values too when it comes
Yeah.
to the kindness. Where does that come from? Like where did that whole theme of kindness come in? Because I love the redemption of it and them getting
Mhm.
rewarded for it. But where does that come in for you?
Well, growing up, after my dad passed away, I was looking for a role model, someone to look up to, and I found those role models in my mom's older brother and her younger brother, and I always looked up to them. I tried to impress them, and one thing that I learned from them is they were always the same, right? They treated everybody with kindness. Everybody loved them, and I took that from them. And fast forward going into the classroom, even like my time in school, you would see those kids getting picked on and those kids getting bullied. And at one point I got picked on as a kid, and it made me not want to go to school.
Yeah,
And now when you look at like suicide rates amongst kids, young kids, kids are fifth, sixth, seventh grade babies,
right.
because people are bullying them. And my thing is to combat that through showing that, through kindness, it's not only something that you're doing for someone else, it makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we need in this world. I think, what we're put here to do is to help one another, to love one another. And it's easy. There's a metric that says, it takes more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile. It's easy to be kind. And so that's my piece, is just trying to make the world a better place and showing kids that love is the answer. And so that's just my take on having that piece of kindness. I wanted something to be I want it to be unique as well, with the kids having to put a little skin in the game, to get that
Yeah.
book. Yeah. Yeah. So
I just wanted to go there with you because I love that piece because you don't see a lot of that. It's a lot of places where you can get books, even the library,
yeah.
that's more like it's there. Do what you want, do with it what you want. But you are actually giving kids something to aspire to and really shaping how they read, with a
Yeah.
certain lens, and
Yeah.
oh, that's powerful. Go on.
Thank
I
you.
just needed to go there. But this band is amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, tell me about, you said, so you've been doing the program for pretty much like 20 years.
10
But
years, 10 years,
10
the
years,
whole
I'm sorry.
program. Yeah, I had the bookmobile. One thing I fast forwarded a little bit, I got straight to the bookmobile. So for those 10 years, or the 4 years before I had the bookmobile, I was driving around giving books away out of my car, right?
Wow.
I take, a bunch of books, go to a school, set them up on a table, and the kids come through and they get them, all that good stuff. But, I was touching these books 4 times. So I take them out of my garage into the car. That's one time. From the car to the school 2 times. From the school back to the car, the ones I don't give away 3 times, and then from the car back to the garage. So I'm touching the books too many times. I'm like, I need a system to where I'm touching the book one time, the next time it's coming off in the hands. And so that's where the bookmobile came into play. And I was fortunate to meet a guy. His name is Zach Brown. He's a country artist from the Zach Brown Band. They actually just did a song with Snoop Dogg. I'm looking forward to hearing that. But I met
Hey,
Zach at a restaurant, and we began to talk. And he's like, man, I love what you do. He's like, maybe I can help you out one day. And he had his own nonprofit, a nonprofit summer camp, and he's like, maybe you can help us out, and I can help you. And so I went and worked for him, and I went back and asked him. I was like, hey, man, you remember when you said you'd help me? He was like, yeah, what up? What's up? I said, I need a bookmobile. So he donated his old limo bus, and that's what we turned into our bookmobile. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Such
yeah,
a divine
yeah.
connection.
Seriously, seriously. And I met him while so when I started the initiative, so when I got out of the classroom, I started the initiative, but so I was doing that during the day. And in the evening, I was working as a server. And just because it was flexible,
Yeah,
and I could go, and I met Zach at the restaurant. I was serving him and didn't know who he was, and just turned into that. And so, yeah, definitely divine. That's the thing, is if you just step out on faith when the universe or God, whatever you believe in, for me,
hmm,
God, he gives you that calling, that thing that you hear, like you need to do it. And he'll
yeah,
make provisions for you, right? And
absolutely.
that's just right there. My testimony. It's a funny thing I tell the story of I picked up that shift. There was a young lady there that needed a shift picked up. I didn't work on Sundays at the time, and that day I picked up the shift because I was singing in my male choir back at church, and so picked up the shift, and he comes in on the day that I pick up a shift, right? And so
Wow.
that's the thing. Your steps are ordered. Just step out there, and good things will happen.
Absolutely. See, this is really what people need to hear because a lot of times people are afraid. They
Yeah,
have these big ideas, they have these big dreams, but they're always thinking about how am I going to get that done?
right.
And I told Jack he just strolling, and I'm one of those people that say, "Well, how am I going to do all of this?"
Right.
And Jackie says, "Don't worry about how.
That's it. That's right. Just get out there.
Just get out
Yeah,
there."
yeah.
Yeah. So, and
And
that's
and if you're doing it for the right reasons, it's gonna work out, right? If your heart's in it,
yeah.
just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, that's your calling. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love the design of the bus. Did you have the input for the design?
I did. I didn't really. So Zach, he at the time, this is before COVID, he had about 20 businesses. He had a knife shop, he made his own spirits, and he had a design company as well. And so his design company, because like his merch and tour stuff, they designed all that. And so he gave them the opportunity to design everything for me. So they designed the bus
I
and
love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
So
colors, everything.
yeah, it's definitely bright. I'm driving down the road, people are gonna look because it's such a bright and fun looking vehicle.
And I love the visual stand because these kids look so delighted, especially the kid here with you. Like he looked like he's
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah,
Like oh my goodness.
yeah. There's a couple videos on my website where you can see because we documented that first day because I wanted to see the kids' face the first time they got on the bookmobile. And it was a special day. It was during February, and the school that I took the truck to for the first time, they had a Black History program, and I was their Black History speaker. And I read this book called "We Shall Overcome: The Story of a Song," and it documented how the song "We Shall Overcome" started. It started out in the cotton fields when the slaves believed that change was coming, and then it turned into a movement that traveled across the country, and it ended up where they sang that when Barack Obama was inaugurated. And so I read that book, and I talked about how all those people that we heard in that story, how they made sacrifices for me to be able to pull up in my reading role to have this opportunity that you're going to get to go out and see for the first time. So it's very special, just for me to be able to bring my dream to fruition off the backs of the others who sacrificed so much for us to be able to live the way we live today.
Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So, so I'll keep going, but
Yeah, I'll
this
let you
is
keep going,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I
So
just love
this,
it.
so this is the first day we took the reading roll out, and just very special day. After I started taking the bookmobile out, people start tagging like Steve Harvey, the Ellen Show, and so the Ellen Show found out about me, and I was on the Ellen Show October
Oh,
7th, 2019. and I won $25,000 on her show.
Wait, so
Yeah,
Ellen contacted you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it
Somebody.
was from social media?
Yeah, somebody reached out. I think it was a teacher that I had been to their school and was like, "Hey, this guy has, this bookmobile and da 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 da." And so yeah, so they flew me out there, me and my mom out for taping. I had no idea that I was going to be on the show. You know how a lot of times you see people and you're like, "Ah, they faking," they're not that
Yeah.
excited. Nah, they got me. They got me. So basically what they did. So one thing I didn't mention. And I was going to get to it a little bit later, but when I wrote my first book, it's called Stan and the Man. So it's about me and my dad, the time I had with him when I lost him, when I found him again.
Wow.
And so I dedicated it to my mom, right? So on my mom's birthday, August 23rd, 2019, um, and this was like 6 months after I released the bookmobile. So they had seen me. So I gave my mom the first copy of my book on her birthday, and I read it in front of the whole school. And so I documented that. And so they saw that and they were like, "Hey, we love what you're doing in your community, giving kids books. And we saw what you did for your mom. We want you, we're doing this thing on our social media called People You Need to Know in Your Community. And we want you to come out to a show. And you and your mom enjoy the show. And then after the show, we're going to film you for our Facebook piece, right?" And so, yeah, so I'm like, okay, but obviously I should have known because they're asking me like, all right, what color are you gonna wear? And you're like, da, 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 right? But they would always throw the scent off, right? They would be like, well, can you get us pictures of you and the kids on the bus? Make sure they have waivers. Can you give us pictures of your dad? So they threw it off, kind of with that. And so we're just
Yeah.
sitting in the audience, and they're like, there's a new Nancy Drew series premiering on the CW network, and they want to give someone in my audience a chance to win $25,000. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, all right, so I'm going to ask a couple questions. Raise your hand if you are encouraging kids to read. And at that point, I was like, oh man, they got me, right? But I wasn't ready. I was like, oh my God, because I hadn't even thought up a scenario of me going down there because I just believe what they said.
Right.
So yeah, so it was crazy, but all that excitement. I actually cried, I teared up when I got the check because it's the largest amount of money we had got at that time. It was $25,000. So it was
And it was a surprise. Like I
yeah,
saw the
yeah,
episode. So
yeah.
I thought you knew about it too. Like you were so natural up there. You
No,
look nervous.
I was nervous,
I would have
man.
been so
I was, oh man, I was so nervous, but yeah, it was a great experience, and it helped me. And that's the thing, every experience, I didn't know at the time how it was going to help me in what I do today at schools, but that appearance on the Ellen Show helps me 6 years later, and I still use that in my journey because I thought it was going to be like, I'm going to get a lot of support and I'm going to get bookmobiles all over the country, and that didn't happen, but it helped me in my school visits, and I used this appearance to really get the kids excited, and yeah, but it was definitely a special day.
wow. That is so crazy. So, guys, y'all heard it first. I didn't even know that he didn't even know. Like, I watched the episode and I didn't know where they were going with it. I thought you were like a guest on the show, but when I saw how
Mhm.
they did it, then now you're telling me that you really
Yeah,
didn't know.
I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they definitely steer you down a different path they than what they tell you. So now when I see people on the show and they're excited and whatnot, I'm like, okay, that's probably
That's probably
genuine.
real. Yeah.
Sometimes
Well,
people be
I'm
over the
glad to
top.
know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I won this $25,000. So it was made out to the nonprofit. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fill this bookmobile up, right, with all these books. So I go to Scholastic Warehouse in Georgia. They have a couple big warehouses, and they do these biannual sales where it's buy one get one. And so I buy all these books, and I'm stacking them on my bookmobile. I was like, man, how cool would it be one day to have a section on my bookmobile of books written by kids? So I started my own writing program, and this is how I'm encouraging book authorship. So, Share Your Story is a research-based and standard-aligned curriculum that's for pre-K all the way up to fifth grade. That's aligned with standards, but we have seniors who are writing books as well. Right now, the six on up is not aligned to the state standards. but they can still do the program. And so basically, my goal is to give kids a platform to have their voices being heard. As you know, with this technology age with AI, I was just typing an email earlier and it was like, "Do you want help?" And I'm like, "Let me just see what happens." Man, it boom, put up an email, you know, 2 paragraphs in less than 5 seconds, right? And it was good. And my thing is, if we're not careful, kids are not going to use their voice if we don't give them a platform to share their voice and to show them their voices are important and need to be heard. AI is going to be their voice. I'll just
Oh,
let AI,
talk
and
about
so
it.
yeah, and so this is my initiative to show kids their voices are more powerful than AI. And they need to be heard and tell your story. And so this is what I'm doing. And so the cool thing at the end of the program, so let me go back. So the kids will get a little kit that looks like this. So they have a little folder. So have their grade on it. And so they'll keep all their materials in. And so there's 8 steps in this little booklet. So each step, there's a training video of me showing them how to do it. So I model it for them. They'll write their first draft in this little booklet. And then once they revise and edit their book and they have their final draft ready, they'll write their final draft in this little hardcover book. And so everybody has something tangible to celebrate. And then they can put all that back in that little fourth grade pouch. And when they're our age, they can look back, oh, this is the book that I wrote in fourth grade. But one of the ways that I get kids to give their best effort is that there's a contest at the end, right? I tell them, I say, do you think you are going to win the contest if you don't give your best effort? No, no. And so they need incentives. And so the incentive is at the end of the program, we choose some books to be professionally illustrated and published. And so these 3 kids here were our first 3 kids who've gotten their books published. And so if you
Oh,
can see
great.
here, this is their original manuscript, and then the illustrator takes their original and just enhance it a little bit. And so,
I
and one
love it.
and one thing that I'm most proud of is so far I've helped over 200 kids across the country publish their book. And so, yeah, and so
That's amazing numbers then.
thank you. And the one thing that I'm
Wow.
I'm really proud about is the diversity as well, because everybody has stories, no matter where you're from, and those stories are important. And so these are just some of the faces of our 200 kids that have been published. And one of my favorite pieces is that we're creating entrepreneurs as well. And so
Yeah.
these kids who get their books chosen to be published, guess what? These are some of the covers of the books. Um, their books are on Amazon right now, and
Wow.
this was June 13th, so this is pretty current. So
Yeah.
we sold almost 8,000 books on Amazon, and they made $18,153 so far on Amazon. And this is with no marketing. Like we
Right.
don't market on our site. Now the kids, we teach the kids, you go out there. You go out,
Mhm.
set up a stand. You don't need to do a lemonade stand. Get a book stand, sell your book, right? And so they market themselves, but if we start marketing these things, like that number could be tripled. And so, but this doesn't count. This is just the books that are sold on the platform. Someone goes to Amazon about. Now, these kids also have an opportunity, like if they're doing a book stand, right? They can order their own books and then sell them. This number doesn't reflect that. So this number is probably double that because of the kids
Mhm.
who order. Yeah. And so one other thing that I do here in Atlanta, there was an organization. I was in this course for new nonprofit founders, just kind of taking you through the insights of how to set up how to be successful in your nonprofit, teaching about board, recruitment, insurance, all the things about that you need to know when you're setting up a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so the executive director of the Exceptional Foundation saw my program, and she was like, she followed me. One of the things that we did, everybody in the cohort, we followed each other on their social platforms, and she said, can we do your writing program with our young adults? And I was like, let's try it. And so the Exceptional Futures now, but they provide day programming for young adults with special needs who've aged out of the school system at 21. The founder son has autism, and she saw how rapidly he declined once he aged out, right? He didn't have a purpose. He was just sitting at home every day. He didn't have any opportunities, and she wanted to do something about it. So that's how that was started. And so every year, these young people, they'll get a chance to participate, and they all write books, and they're so proud. And it's It's my favorite day of the year. I go to a lot of schools in different places, but this is my favorite. They all get to come up on stage with me. I'll read an excerpt of their book. They'll pick one of their favorite pages, and I'll give them an author shirt, and they'll get a certificate of acknowledgement of their book. And as you can see, their tears of joy and hugs. It's a great time. It's one of my favorite times. We've been doing it. This year is 5 years, so I go there every year. I make time. I don't charge them anything, and I go out and I want everybody to feel special and to have an opportunity to just share their book with me. And I always say some kind words about the book, and it's very special. And so far, we published. I think about six of their young folks' books, but this is a kill. This young man, he was our first author that we published his book. And so the way they do it is that they have a writing buddy. So this young man
Hmm.
here, Darren, he's a Kills writing buddy. So they go and volunteer weekly, and they help them produce their story. And so yeah, so it's my way of showing that, we all have a story. No matter our ability, disability, everybody has a story, and this is just proof of that. So, so that's how I'm promoting book authorship. And then, oh, real quick. So one of the things, and you guys are all invited, it'll be sometime hopefully in March of 26, once our new
Okay.
books come out. But we do a big celebration. We call it a Picture Book Perfect Evening. And so we invite these
Oh
young
yeah, I want
people
to come
out.
to that.
Yeah, you need to. And you can do a live craft show from there. We can do a follow-up from this,
See,
right?
you just said it. We're doing it.
Right, right. So what we do, we rent out this sound stage down in at Trilla Studios in Fayetteville, Georgia, and this is where they filmed a lot of the Marvel movies, Disney movies. Super nice place. So,
Oh, it is
anyways,
nice.
yeah. So we rent this sound stage out, and these kids and their families they come out, and these kids get to come up on stage and see their books for the first time. So we'll have their book covered, and as you can see, I'm taking the cloth. So the kid is seeing the printed version, and then everybody else is seeing what it looks like on the big screen. And so you can see the excitement. Look how excited this little boy is seeing his book for the
So
first
this is the
time.
first time the kids get to
Yeah,
see the
they're
cover.
yeah they're seeing it for the
Oh,
first
so it's
time.
a big reveal
Yeah, because
too. Oh
what they're
my goodness.
seeing, this is all they're seeing. Oh, I went too far back, shouldn't have did it, but I want to show you. This is all they've seen at this point. This little book. Oh man, my bad.
Their version of it.
Yeah, they seen their version. My bad. Y'all get to see all those things again. But so
Just in case you
all,
missed it.
just in case you missed, you just coming in, Miss Talone. I see you just got in here, girl. If you so, this is all they've seen. So they don't know that this exists. And so it's very and the thing is, it takes us about 4 to 6 months. So they've been waiting. So they're just
Yeah.
ready to see it. And as you can see, it's exciting just looking at that young man's face.
Yeah,
And
excited.
so yeah, and so that night the kids sell their books and they make their first $200. So what we do, like I said, we're creating entrepreneurs. So we give them a starter kit. So that night they'll get a little box, has congratulations. We'll do a nice little cute little doodle on there, that's correlates with their book. And so they get four hardcover books here and 20 softcover books. Okay. So we give them four hardcovers. We say keep two of them and then put two in your school library because we want the kids at their school to be able to check it out and to be inspired by your book. Then that night they get to sell their 20 books that night, right? So this is entrepreneurship 101, friends. All right.
Hmm.
So you get 20 books. You sell them for $10. You've just made your first $200. Congratulations, friend. All right, now I need you to save 100 of that and then take the other 100 and buy more product and copy and repeat that over and over again. And so that's how we start them off on their entrepreneur journey. So yeah, so that's what we're
Make me
doing.
cry, sis. I'm over here tearing up over here because
Oh,
I didn't know about this part.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because we talked about so much, I didn't know about this part, like the physical books
Yeah, they get the physical books and they sell them. Yeah.
and the sales plan and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, we hooking them up.
Wow.
Yeah, we setting them up for success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's the I showed you the book ownership piece. with the bookmobile, how kids earn books. And then I showed you the book authorship piece of how they write books. And the last thing that I do is promote book enjoyment. Okay. And so the way I'm doing that is through doing a couple ways, but one of the ways is through my children's show. So this is my show called The Very Airy Library. So it's about this magical library that's hidden in the forest. And what makes it magical is that it has every book that's ever been written. So I go on this journey to find it. And when I find it, it's in shambles, visited in so long. So I have to rebuild it, right? And so I remodel it. And I say, man, I don't want it to be hidden anymore. I want it to
Uh-oh.
be
Am I
accessible to all.
frozen? Hold on.
And I can hear you. Maybe it's me.
Let's see.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I heard you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a magical library hidden, and I find it, and I'm like, I don't want to be hidden. So I turn it into a flying library, hence the very area, hook hot air balloons up to it. And the whole concept of the show is to every week fly to find the newest books that have been written to keep the magic alive. Okay. I grew up watching Reading Rainbow. And
Me too.
this, yeah, yeah, butterflies in the sky. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, And so I wanted to give the kids of today that same kind of feel, that concept. And so every week we travel to find the newest books that have been written, and we've had some pretty big names on. This is one of my favorite authors of all time. His name's Kobe Yamada. He wrote a book called "What Do You Do with an Idea? What Do You Do with a Problem?" Um, his books are my favorite. If you have young kids, you know about Pete the Cat.
Hmm.
So James Dean, author Pete the Cat, he's been on the show. And it's time to rock around and it's tricky.
Hey.
Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC, he's written a children's book and he's been on the show as well. So
Yes. Oh, I
yeah,
met
just
him, and he did a book signing at the
yeah.
NAEYC conference we had in DC. We had a booth and we presented there, and I got to see him again. And the line for his book, Stan, was all through the convention center. It was the
Oh
longest
wow.
line ever.
Yeah.
They wanted that book.
Yeah,
So
it's a great book, great
books are not
message.
dead. I'm telling you,
Right,
they're still
right. Great
alive.
book. Yeah. And if you haven't
Yeah,
seen the episode, go check him out. And he's just such a humble dude, just a good dude. So
definitely.
yeah, so we had some cool people. But the
These
cool
are
thing
some big
about the pro,
names. Real quick,
yeah.
before we move on, Stan, how do you get all of these people to get on the show? Like, do
I
you
reach
already
out to
know
him.
them?
No, like, some of it's divine,
Like we
how I
were saying
got,
earlier.
yeah, yeah, how I got James Dean on. We did some work with a district, all of their pre-K kids did the writing program. And James Dean had visited some of the pre-K sites, and the pre-K coordinator, Greg Hull, was seen the show, and he was like, "Man," because the show is incorporated into the lessons of the writing program, and he was like, "I see you have authors." He said, "We just had, James Dean, and I had a great conversation with him. I have his number." He's like, "You want me to connect him?" I'm like, "Connect you?" I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, yeah." And so that connection. Kind of same thing with Daryl. I met a guy at a conference at an event, and was telling him about what I was doing. He was like, "Dude, this is next level, man." He was like, he said, I just did he meet? He was at an event with Daryl. He was like, he has children, but I know one of his homegirls. Maybe and I was like, call him, right? Call her
Yeah.
now. Why are we wasting time? Call her now. So he hits her up, and that's how that was born. And then Kobe Yamada, we have T-shirts on for my bookmobile, and with the reading roll, and then we have one that says "Be kind." And so I actually tagged him because I was reading before I became an author. I used to read his books when I go out to schools to do read alouds, and I tagged him. And so what
Wow.
he did, he went out and bought like 4 or 5 shirts. And then when I got the show, I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey man, you're my favorite author. I'd love for you to come." And he's like, "I'll be there." Right. And so just yeah, yeah. And it's just been, just divine, and people see the
Yeah.
work, they see the vision, and they know the impact it
Yeah.
can have, and everyone so far, they've volunteered their time. We had to pay for, some people for their travel, but they don't charge us for their
Like
time on
being
the
on the
show.
show.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
been very fortunate. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And then the one of the coolest things about the show, like growing up, love reading Rainbow. LeVar, man,
Hmm.
he's the GOAT. But I don't know about you, Latoya. I never got an invite to the show. They never said, Stan, you want to be on the show?
Right.
Yeah,
No.
the kids you saw on the show were probably producer kids or
Yeah.
somebody. And so the cool thing about my show is that any kid across the country could be on an episode of my show.
I
All you got
love
to do is write a book. Write a book,
that. Write a book, get on the show.
write a book in my program, and you have the potential to be on my show. So every kid that you see on the show has written a book in my program. So when you see
Oh,
their published book, they
love
went
it.
through my program. So I'm cultivating the content that you see on the show through my young author program. And so that's my book enjoyment piece. And then I'm also an author as well. So I go to schools across the country sharing my message about kindness. If you can see there, this was an older shirt I used to wear. It's just paying homage to my dad. So I was telling you my first book called Stan and the Man. It's about the time I had with the man, my dad, when I lost him and when I found him again. So my dad passed away in a car accident at 39. And
Oh,
so,
that's where the number comes from.
yeah, so I
And it
started.
happens to rhyme.
Right, right. When I go to the schools, I read my book and I tell them why I wrote it and all that good stuff. And then I'll tell them, I say, in my dad's honor, I created a kindness challenge. And I'm asking everybody, each kid who heard this story, will you please take this kindness challenge in my dad's honor? And the kindness challenge is called Be Kind 39. And so there's 39 acts of kindness for every year that my dad lived. And so that's how I encourage kindness and keep my dad's, legacy. And the thing
Yeah.
is, like you say, like it rhymed, right? Be kind 40,
Yeah.
be kind 38,
Don't even make sense, right?
be kind 60. No. Um, and that's the thing, we don't understand things, right? Like I think about like my dad was so young, passing away at that age. And not to say like God said, I'm taking him for this Be Kind at 39 for this Be
Right.
Kind 39
Exactly.
challenge. But look how, you know what I mean? Like it's just the pieces just fall the way they're supposed to all the time. And so that's how I highlight his 39 years of life through the Be Kind 39. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, promoting book ownership with the bookmobile where kids earn books, book authorship through my writing program, and then book enjoyment through my children's show and going out and visiting schools across the country.
This is amazing, Stan. And as we're talking about this, I'm looking at Miss Solana Coleman over here. She is one of my featured authors. She was on my panel for the Black Author episode.
Awesome.
And I want to let her chime in because she's been putting stuff in the chat. So I'm Solana, can you unmute real quick and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. I was on the other side on Facebook and I said, wait, I gotta get on. So, you know, but Latoya, thanks for having me. Mr. Tucker, your whole entire testimony, I say, is an
Mm,
awesome testimony, worthy of being shared, worthy of encouraging others,
thank you.
even how you're just really pouring in to the young children, just to teach them. I just say Proverbs 22:6.
Mm.
We have a journey to do, and hats off to you. You're doing an
Oh,
awesome job. Today is
thank
my
you.
first day meeting you. Of course, I will be following you on social media, and maybe we can connect and some things like that.
Yeah,
But I'm a children's author.
awesome.
My first book came out in 2020, and basically, my first book is titled I Am Important. And at the
Hmm.
time, I had observed a video of an African American little girl about 4 years of age, and she was crying. And the young lady that was doing her hair was asking her, well, why are you crying? And this little girl kept saying that she wasn't beautiful. So the young lady that was doing her hair tried to give her affirmations, but nothing was
Mm-hmm.
working. So at that point, I said, well, Lord, what is it that I can do to help children to understand that
Mm,
they are beautiful?
mm,
So my line of books teach on topics, whether it's acceptance, self-worth, kindness,
mm-hmm.
bravery, and love. But
Love it.
my last ministry that God has given unto me
Mm-hmm.
is called Kadazzle, and it's perfectly peculiar puppets. So what I have done is created a line of different odd-looking puppets. I've created a whole line of them, and I've turned it not only just for puppets, but I've turned it into a story that's going to eventually become a series. But what I do, I go to different settings
Mm-hmm.
and I read my stories to children. I kind of infuse it with African drumming, sing along, tap dancing, slides, bubbles, you name it,
Wow.
just for a fun experience for the children. But I also teach them how to incorporate literacy and puppetry together to
I
infuse
love it.
together. And they get to make different crafts and things along that line. So I'm really, truly excited the journey that God has me on. Um,
Yeah. It's
and
amazing.
I have had divine appointments, just as you and Latoya has been mentioning. Yes, it's great when we have those divine appointments,
It
and I'm
is.
so grateful for every opportunity that God has entrusted me with thus far.
Mm.
And I know He has so much more.
Amen.
And I'm just excited, and I'm saying, okay, God said, don't be anxious about anything. So I'm just trying to bring it in.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Mhm.
just
Wow.
listening to your testimony, I'm so happy I was able to jump on to hear
Me too.
and to listen in and to take in some insight. And we will definitely have to connect.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
love that. And just
definitely.
thank you for sharing the work that you're doing. That's amazing. And I know it's not easy. I'm out there as well, but we were talking about when God or whatever you believe, the universe puts it, you got to do it, right? You
Mhm.
know, it's
Got it.
that's your
Yeah.
calling, and he'll make provisions, and just keep listening and keep, and
Yes.
as long as you hear that in your heart, to
Right.
keep going, So
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Takes a
Thank you
village.
also. Thank you so much, Latoya. Yes. Thank
Thank you both for just inspiring me because you know that my books are coming next. I've already written them. I'm working on publishing. So Stan, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I got
Because
you.
one thing that we didn't talk about, Stan, is you pretty much are a publisher too, kind of, right?
Yeah, so we publish all the books
Yeah,
that were
because
written by
yeah,
kids.
talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so one of the things when the manuscripts are turned into us, we do all the things that need to be done, get them the ISBN number. We have our illustrators that illustrate the books, and so we do all the things that, a publisher would do for those kids, so but I get a lot of adults that are like, do you have something like this for adults? And I'm like, no,
Mhm.
but I can help you if I can. I just got an email from a young lady. She was at a school that I visited, and she saw what I do for kids, and she just said, "Hey, do you mind hopping on a call with me? I have some questions. I'm in the process of writing my book." I'm like, "Of course," because I remember how in the dark I was when I wrote my first book. Right, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I spent too much money that I didn't have to spend, and I just didn't have that direction. And I don't want anybody that is in that process to go through what I went through. And the thing is, it's no competition. Like Miss Talona, there's no competition between me and you. There's no competition between me and you because there's enough to go around.
Oh yeah.
There isn't, and so we need to help one another. And when we help someone win, we all win, right? So that's where I am. I'm all about trying to help if I can. I don't know everything, but I know a few things from the trial and errors that I made, and if I have the time, in between times of people, adults who need a little direction, I'm all for it, because I want to see them win. Because if they win, I'm gonna win. They're gonna tell somebody, hey, this guy right here, he's a real deal, right? He
Yeah.
he he took time, he helped me, and hopefully they'll pass that along as well.
Stan, I really love what you're doing. I'm super glad that I met you. And
Yeah.
just talking to you, I know that, you talking to the kids, it has to be like something phenomenal because just talking to you as an adult, I feel like I just known you forever. You know what I mean? You're so easy to talk to. And then how you explain everything, I'm like a little kid. I got to see, guys, I got to see the packets for the kids. Like he showed a visual of it, but it does not do it any justice. Those pouches that they have to put the kids into, like once they're done, it's like suede. It is so quality. Like it is, I mean, the colors are so rich. The way it feels, like I said, the texture of it, it definitely feels real deal. If just being an adult, if I had a kid like that, I would feel like I'm a real author. So I'm
Right.
thinking about a kid having
Right.
this whole pack of stuff and everything like laid out for them. It really helps them to create smart goals and see
Yeah.
themselves accomplishing it and then making money. they're
Right.
they're never gonna forget this, Stan. You are changing lives like so much. You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? And just like you said,
Mhm.
all from you having to uh go through things. And so people are
Mhm.
always scared of, when things happen in your life that,
Yeah.
are definitely unfortunate, you losing your dad, but look what came of it. I'm
Right.
a person, I lost my mom at an early age, and it definitely gave me a lens to look through
Mhm.
that I can relate to other people, especially when it came to working with children that grew up without their moms.
Right.
Always work
Right.
with kids. So I understood that. So you're
Right.
right. When we have that divine connection and those
Yeah.
divine meetings, just like with Talana, how I met her, she was one of my first clients. And to really big you up, Talana, what I love about her, this woman has been in family child care for over 20 years, running a
Mm.
business and being
Mm.
a staple in her community with
Mhm.
her faith-based organization, staying true to what she's doing. And
Mhm.
I feel so blessed to know her and was with her, like, knowing her around the time where she said, you know what? God is telling me to write my books.
Mhm.
And I mean, she just said it out her mouth. We're on a call. And I'm telling you, within months, she's got
Mhm.
like 4 books already written and published and out there.
Mhm.
I was like, 5, 6. You know what I mean? She's on book number 6. So
Mhm.
when we talked about Talana before you came in, we were talking about like when you hear that calling, from God or like, whatever you call it, but the universe, and it assigns you this,
All
you
right.
gotta just jump out there and listen to it
All
because,
right.
like Stan said, and like he's experienced, all the carpet is gonna lay right in front of you, and
Right.
your steps are ordered, and it's
Mhm.
already waiting for you.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Talana is who inspired me because she did it so fast. Like she just
Right.
said, God said this, and then she's already doing
Yeah.
it. It
Yeah.
made me get off my tail and
Right.
say, okay, you've been hearing this for so long. Why haven't you written your book? So I gave myself
Right.
a deadline and
Yep.
I did it. So, Talana, I want to thank you for being that inspiration for me. And then, Stan, you actually, doing this program and me seeing those kids do it, I went ahead and illustrated my own books too because I'm an artist. Well, I was thinking,
Mhm.
I was like, I'm gotta find an illustrator. And I'm like, what?
Right.
You're looking at her. Like,
Mhm.
So thank you both for just being who you are and staying true to your calling and letting us
Absolutely.
all in on it because
Yeah.
we really need it. And it's especially I keep hearing about all of these books that are being pulled, like and
Mhm.
being banned.
Right.
It's sickening to me. So
Yeah.
my thing is what you guys are doing, what we all have a hand in doing is
Right.
replenishing that stock and
Mhm.
teaching the kids from our voices and not
Mhm.
just letting them pick something that's out in the world, you
Right.
know? So I love, Stan, that you're doing the kindness theme.
Mhm.
And Talana, she is doing like the whole, don't be afraid. I'm not afraid. It's really empowerment for
Right.
children.
Yeah.
So man, I could stay on here all day, but I know we don't have all day. But Stan, any last words before we go ahead and I'll go into my updates and we land this plane? Any
First
last
of all, just thank you again for the opportunity to share my story with your following. The thing is just it it's a community, and it's all about spreading the word. And when we do that, we don't know the lives that we can impact, and especially the children, because I saw in the chat the children are our future. We have to pour into our kids, and so just thank you for the opportunity. And the last thing is just um, all the dreamers out there, all the people who have something on your heart, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Take that first step, because it's on your heart for a reason. You know,
Mm,
a lot of times they say, if you don't do it, somebody else will, which is true, but no one else will do it like you. Right.
mm,
And so don't, they talk about the graveyard as a place where not only that physical body that's there, but all the lost dreams, the people who
yeah.
didn't go for those dreams. So we're a testimony of just following you. You can make it, right? And the world needs it. And you don't know who it's going to impact and how that impact on that person, where it's going to take them that day and who they will impact. So my last words is just, you got a dream, get out there and do it. Take that first step. You got this.
I love that. Now, Stan, we got to do some things. When children want to be a part of your program, how do they get to you? Well, their parents are probably going to reach out, but how do they them also get to you to get into your program?
Yeah, so it's simple. So if you have a story, kids, that you had on your heart and you want to write it, the website is just startyourstories.com. So startyourstories.com. So you can go there, get your kit, and or you can take it back to your school. Some schools do it during instructional time during the school day because the program's research based and standard aligned. Some schools do a writing club, or kids can do it individually. So you can take it to your school or you can do it individually. We have 2 submission dates a year for your story. What I always tell kids too, if they have a story that they've already written, great. I want you to bring that story. If you like the story, bring it with you. Now I want you to tear it down. Just keep the foundation, right? I want you to go back through my process, go back through the 8 steps and really build on that story, because I'll ask them, did you revise and edit your book? Oh yeah, you didn't. Did you do that? And so I want them to go through each step, showing them step by step. It's a process, right?
Mhm.
I tell them when I go to schools and I'm doing my curriculum with them, I always have them repeat after me. Writing a book is a process, and a process takes time, right? Everything, becoming a doctor is a process. Becoming an NBA player is a process. You got to put in the work. You got to train. You got to eat right. You got to do all these things, right? It didn't happen overnight. LeBron didn't become LeBron overnight. It's a process, right? And so I want to take them through that process. So we have 2 submission dates a year for you to submit your story for a chance to be considered to be published. So the first date is April 15th. So this is when kids get tax day, super simple to remember.
Right.
You get your kit. Let's say kids want to start August 1st, right? They have until April to make the best story. They got to illustrate their books. They got to, go through the steps and whatnot. And then we have a summer initiative. So let's just say they want to just sign up and do it over the summer. They have to submit their book by September 1st. So there's 2 submission dates for them. Okay. So startyourstories.com is where they can sign up for the program. And then if they want to watch the show, The Very Airy Library, you can simply go over to my site, stanleytucker.com, and you can access the show there. And when you click Children's Show, make sure you hit the subscribe button to my YouTube as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, a quick question, Stan. Talana put in the chat. Is there an age group? What's the age group for children in the
Great
program?
question. Yeah. So we're actually working with some early learners out in Winston-Salem. I'm not sure if they're early childcare homes or they're schools, but our program goes for pre-K all the way up to,
Wow.
yeah, to basically 12th grade. But there's an age limit on if they're doing it independently. So if they're doing it independently, I mentioned like you could ask your school to do it or do a club or even do it in the classroom. There's no age limit for that, right? So, because as you think, pre-K kids, they're not writing a book on their own. They need instructions from a teacher. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade is around that age where it's like, okay, you developing that independence. So pre-K to first grade has to be done in the classroom setting or the homeschool setting. And then second on up, they can do it individually. They can order the kit, get the kit, follow the videos, and write and illustrate their story and submit it.
I love that.
Mhm.
Oh Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
So you guys, y'all heard it first where to get with Stan. Make sure you go and subscribe, check out his website. Now, last one. Now, support. How can we support? How can we volunteer? How can we donate? All that. And
Yeah, so
or how we can buy the books.
yeah. So you go to stanleytucker.com. That's how you can purchase my books and learn about all the things that I'm doing. But I'll leave you with three questions. Okay. How can you support? Usually, like we have a nonprofit, right? And Leap for Literacy. And, one of the things you look for out of your board are, can you donate your time, your talent, or your treasures, right? Those are three things that you look for, right? So everybody's different, different places of their lives. And so whatever you can donate to us, thank you. But let me ask you these three questions before I close. And hopefully, if you don't answer yes to all three of these, make sure it's a yes. The one you go out and make it a yes. Okay. So, first question: do you believe in me and the work that I'm doing?
Yes.
Would you like to see my work expand across more territories?
Yes.
And does everybody that you know about the work that I'm doing?
No, I want them to though.
So make that a yes.
So
Thank you.
let's make that a yes. Come on, y'all.
So that's how you can support. Just telling, just spreading the word, and it's gonna fall on somebody's ears who have the treasures, right? Has the money to help us. It's gonna fall on someone's ears who has the time, right? It's gonna fall on someone's ears who has the talents. And so if we spread the word about all of our initiatives, we will find what we need. So yeah, if you can just share with your communities.
I love that. I really do. Stan, I want to thank you for giving your time, your treasures, and your talent over here to the Craft Cafe Live Show.
You're welcome.
I'm really loving the show. I would love to come on your show. I'm already trying to get on Catherine Tara's show. I'm gonna be a lion on her show. Um, well, what I'm writing books, so maybe I'll write a book and well, not maybe that could come on with my book. But either way, I definitely want to be a part of this and do more
Yeah.
with you. So guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You haven't seen the last of Stan and Craft, okay? And I want to thank you, Talana, for always being one of my favorite craft members, and you're
Mm.
always supporters of the show and being on the panel every time I ask you to, because you're so awesome. We always have stuff to talk about and putting your books and your Kiddazzle program out there and following the word. Oh my goodness. So, and being so inspiring, both of you. So, Talana, do you want to tell them where to get your program at?
I am going to have a new website coming up. Thanks,
Yep.
yours truly. I will have a new website being produced shortly. But right now, I'm just going to direct everyone to Amazon. And if they just Google my name, Talana Coleman, is Talona. Last name is Coleman. If you Google that, put that in Amazon, it'll pull up all 6 of my books.
Perfect.
And you'll be able to make a purchase of them there. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you both. I know it's after 2, so I know you guys got to go. I just have maybe 2 minutes of updates that I'm going to do once you guys sign off. But guys, everybody watching at home, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you follow up with Stan and Talana and the Very Airy Library. We're going to come back with it. We're going to have to do another part 2 just when we do the next event, Stan. So
Let's do it.
you
Let's do it.
guys, thank you so much and have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
and
y'all
God
too.
bless you all.
Peace
Bye-bye.
and
Thank
blessings.
Yeah.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I always got to do my afternoon craft cafe updates with what's new at craft. Real quick, I'm not going to keep you long, but I wanted to alert you to we have completed our first cohort of the Wave Accounting Lab. And if you've never heard of the Wave Accounting Lab, that is our new and improved rendition of our virtual Wave accounting. It's kind of like our accounting boot camp, but we do those live now. This is our virtual version of it. So if you are not able to get to one of our signature cities to do a live Wave, definitely sign on to our Wave Lab opportunity where we have 4 consecutive weeks with our Craft All Stars. Who are our Craft All Stars, you ask? But you never asked. Of course, I'm one of them because I'm the host of All Things Craft. But I'm not only just the host, you guys. I am the marketing specialist on Craft and Better Futures. Okay, so I do all the logos, the actual websites. That's what we were just talking about. Any digital marketing that you have, I'm an artist. I told you I can do it all. Okay, so we do that. We have none other than Natrice Johnson. She is a 14-year family child care business owner and center-based owner. She not only runs a family child care and a center-based business, she also is a part of an avid member of Quip, and she has an accounting background. I love to say that because she loves the accounting. So she is our instructor. She has a lot of experience teaching Wave back in Philly, and now she is doing it officially with Craft, you guys. So she's our lead instructor. Following up with that, we have our very own Adrienne Briggs, who has been a family child care business owner for 33 plus years, you guys, in the game. Not only is she the vice president of the Quality Influential Professionals in Philadelphia, PA, that supports all kinds of child care leaders, she also is on the advisory board for the National Association as well. She is an author not only for children's books, but she also has adult books and journals for women and men. She is a nonprofit leader. I already said that. So she not only knows how to use it in a family childcare capacity, but in the leadership of a whole organization capacity. She is one of our specialists. She's an all-star. And then we bring in bum ba da bum, our very own partners, the Child Care Tax Pros. Yes, I said it, the Child Care Tax Pros. They are tax pros who specialize in child care businesses, you guys. So who better to have on our accounting lab platform than these ladies, you guys? So we are teaming up. We are the craft all-stars to make sure that you have your accounting intact. Now, I want to just give a shout out to the graduates of this first program. This is our first cohort for this program, and we are going to be announcing the graduates and honoring them at our Wave Lab graduation coming up on August 8th. Yes, this is a Friday, of course. We're doing it right here on the Craft Cafe Live, so you could be a part of it. And let's say you could get to sign up for the next one because we do have cohort 2 coming out starting October 25th. So I will be releasing those QR codes so you guys can get your early bird pre-sale on because you do not want to miss it. Come along to the graduation so that you can find out not only who graduated this program, but who won our $1,000 craft grant opportunity that came along with the program. Okay, so this is our first grant that we are offering at Craft, and I'm so proud of it. And we're going to see who applied and who won, and we're going to be granting them their $1,000 for their business. Okay, so don't you miss it. Okay, next up, we have the lineup for August. Now, you know that we don't do webinars in July because we're always traveling. Shout out to Dallas. I'm in Dallas now. We're going to be doing an event this weekend. But I wanted to make sure that you had all the news that's coming up for you. So if you're not a craft member yet, this is a great time to go ahead and get it because we have upgraded our memberships. Our craft family membership has been blown to smithereens. We are now in a new era of family childcare. So we got to stay with the times, you guys. So we have our Craft Family Plus Basic and our Craft Family Plus Premium memberships just for you. And I'm telling you, you need to go to our website at www.betterfuturesdc.com/plans pricing. And it's going to give you all the new amenities. And I'm talking about these amenities are chock full of marketing. You know, I had to throw my stank on it because we want to make sure that you are promoting your business, that you are getting the revenue that you deserve so that you can do the upgrades, so that you can create the programs that you always wanted to. Okay, so we're doing our Google My Business capsule package where I'm going to be creating a click funnel for you guys with a QR code and a matching branded contact list so you can start your marketing funnel. There's no excuses in 2025 because we are getting live. Come on in and let's get that for you. We're doing the home buyers club. So you want to buy a home or an investment property? We're going to help you do that. We're going to be investing. If you just want to do investments, we're going to help you with that. We have an investment club. We're also going to be building your credit because we have a credit club, you know, our Credit Karma. We have a partnership. Okay, so we're going to be building business credit And we did not forget about your personal credit because they're, they work together. So we want to make sure that you guys are getting live in 2025, and we will make it stick and make the hits for 2026. But we got to do it now. We got to get prepared. So go ahead and get your memberships today. And Craft Lux has upgraded too tremendously with marketing. But right now I'm focusing on that craft family. So go ahead and get it. I'm telling you, skip the basic. If you really want to make changes, skip the basic, get Craft Family Plus Premium at $16.99 a month. I'm telling you, it's a steal. I'm going to be working my butt off to make sure that it's a steal for you. Okay? So come on over. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. You guys know the email, lriggins@betterfuturesdc.com. See you guys at this meeting in the next webinar. See you soon. Bye.